They've got to bring in someone. They want to bring in a striker. Mikel Arteta says they're working hard. They really want to do it, given their injury problems. So I'm just talking more generally, just in transfer terms, these kind of things might happen in a transfer window, because when you have a bid as big as that, surely somewhere Arsenal are getting an encouragement that Ollie Watkins might think, actually, yeah, I do want to make that move.
Can I just float an alternative theory? And that is that Arsenal have realised today that Al Nassr have come in for John Duran, and they know that Aston Villa are not going to sell both their number 9s. So Arsenal have been told, look, John Duran is about to go to Saudi Arabia. If you want Ollie Watkins, you've got to make the bid now, because you can't wait any longer, because once John Duran has gone to Al Nassr, there is no way you will get Ollie Watkins. So perhaps that is why they have been almost forced to make this late bid today.
Do clubs put out feelers to players?
Yeah, there's multiple ways that they can do it, and they're not supposed to, but it happens all the time. It might just be you're in a dressing room, you've got an ex-teammate that plays at a certain club, and he's going to send you a text or phone you and say, are you interested in coming over? I've had a conversation with my manager. You say yes, if that's the case, and then they go on, and then we get to this phase where we are now. So it does happen in different ways. You know, agents are always talking to people because it's their job to do that. So those conversations aren't, they're allowed to happen. Agents are allowed to talk to people at other clubs, so they do happen. And then, like you're saying, you do get a bit of interest. So then a club might hear he actually fancies, the player himself fancies this move. So let's pursue it a little bit and see where we get.
Has there ever been a situation where it's secret agent Ashley Williams, where you've been told, look, just have a little word with this guy, tell him that we want him?
No, because...
Come on.
No, because my thing was always, if you was on my team, then I'm going to speak to you. If you left my team, then you're an enemy until the end of the season, and I'm not...
Paul, let's come to you, first of all, because it's Arsenal. You heard Gary there, put 5 past the defending champions, 5 different scorers. Of course they need a striker, don't they?
Yeah, I think they still need a striker. I think if you look at it, when the game went 1-1, you're sitting there thinking, if Havertz would have scored that chance, the game would have been out of sight at 2-0, in my opinion. So, yeah, obviously they went on and won the game quite convincingly in the end in the last 20, 30 minutes. But it could have easily been the other way. Do you know what I mean? They've got to take them chances. That was a big miss. Natural goal scorer scores that goal. 1 in 2 scores it. I mean, I know Havertz goes and gets his goal, which was harder than that chance. They need a forward. I don't think, unless they get Ollie Watkins, I don't see the point in going and get one. I don't. I might as well wait to the end of the next season. If they go out now and buy Ollie Watkins for, say, 70, 80 million, 200 grand a week, so for the next 6 or 7 months, that's about £3.5 million, £3 million in wages. If Liverpool win their game in hand in a week's time, they're 9 points above them. It doesn't matter if they have who's the best centre. Even if they had Haaland, they wouldn't win the league. 9 points is a lot of points with only how many games left. So for me, unless they get Watkins and it's for the future as well, I wouldn't panic, and then it opens up next season and then go from there, in my opinion.
The striker's not going to make the difference to them potentially winning the league, but maybe actually taking the pressure off Kai Havertz, though, you could say.
Yeah, I agree with Mercer. I think it's January genuinely is a reactive market. They needed to be proactive. Everyone knows that Arsenal need a centre forward for 2 or 3. To them to go and sign someone now to make a difference, it's impossible. It's impossible for them to do. Like Merce said, if they win their game in hand, 9 points, it's pretty much done. They've lost 1 game all season, Liverpool. I don't see them going and losing 3 or 4 games, and Arsenal would have to win all of their remaining. So keep your powder dry. Hopefully the scouts are out there getting busy and sign someone in the summer, because you're going to need them moving forward.
I think Arsenal would have tried to have been clever and thought they'd have had a sniff on the Duran one. They'd have definitely had a whisper he was going to go there. So they go and bid for Ollie Watkins at 60, and then they give Villa the option. Do you take 60 for a 28, 29-year-old, or do you take the 60 for a 21-year-old? They chose to take the 60 for the 21-year-old. So that tells me about the 21-year-old. Because you keep the 21-year-old and you sell the 28-year-old.
Yeah.
They're the same price. Mm-hmm. And for me, I think Arsenal have gone like that, and Villa have chose to sell the 21-year-old and not the 28, 29-year-old. So I ain't sure Arsenal will go in again. I don't think they will go in again.
Not only that, we're running out of games, aren't we? You know, for them to win the Premier League. Do you think if you come in at the weekend, Merce, you go straight into the side? Albeit he's injured anyway. He's limped off at half-time against Wolves. It looked like a bad one. We know what it's like. It's right underneath the groin there. That could be 3 or 4 weeks, perhaps a month. You know, a month out of the season. If this man is the one you're going to bring in for all that money to change your fortunes, the